Okay. Hi, Philip. Good evening. Welcome here. Shama Technologies, you're welcome. Good evening. You can give me your reactions if you are hearing me, so that I'm very sure that you can hear me. Nice, nice. Welcome. 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 Thank you all for joining. I think we'll just wait for a few more persons to join and then we'll kickstart this. Is that okay? Okay. Welcome, welcome. I'm seeing 5 other persons here. Welcome, welcome. All right, we'll commence shortly. I think we have enough people to start this. We have. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Hi, from wherever you're joining this from. Thank you for joining. You can also give me a confirmation if you're hearing me. So that I'm very sure that you can hear me. You can, react through the chat so that I can be sure that you can hear me. All right, I'm seeing some responses already. Welcome to the Tangent Information session. My name is Mercy. I am the programs manager at Greylight, and I'm so excited. I'm so glad to have you here to get informed about what we are building with Tangent. So a very quick housekeeping. This is going to go for an hour or maybe a bit longer, depending on the questions that we're going to be getting from this session. So you can feel free to drop your questions in the chat as we go. I'll address them in the Q&A session at the end of this session. So you don't want to forget to do that. And if during the course of this information session, you have the need to, maybe step away, you can gladly do so, as we'll be sharing the recording of this session with you so that you can get well informed about what, this program is all about. So why are we even here today? We have a few reasons for that anyways. First of all, I want to give you clarity on what Tangent actually is. There's a lot of noise in the startup world, in the startup ecosystem, accelerator programs, incubator programs, grant programs, fellowships and all of that. And they all just, blur the picture together. Tangent is very different. I want you to know that. And I want to make sure you understand what, exactly you're signing up for as you apply for this program. Secondly, I want to introduce you to our faculty, and give you a sense of the caliber of people that you'll be learning from. These are not just consultants or academics. They are people who have built something at scale in their different industries and spheres. Third, I want you to, we want to, as a team, answer your questions. If you've applied already, this is your chance to get clarity before we make final decisions. If you have not applied, this is also your chance, to decide if Tangent is right for you before the deadline, which is, by the way, a few days away, 25th of March. Yeah. So what is Tangent? This is the real question. Tangent is Greylight's 12-week intensive program for pre-seed to seed founders building in technology, entertainment, and culture. It's not an accelerator program. It's not an accelerator program in the traditional sense. We are not optimizing for demo day pitches or quick exits. We are focused on transformation. Yes, we are focused on transformation, helping you build something up, helping you build an operational foundation that, scales you sustainably. That's what we are trying to do. So let me give you some context into Greylight first, and then, because apparently Tangent is not just existing on its own. Tangent is an initiative of Greylight, and you need to understand what we do at Greylight. You need to have a context to us so that you can understand what we are really doing at Greylight. So Greylight is a venture firm focused on backing founders who are building systems that shape culture, platforms, infrastructures, distribution rails, and tools across media, entertainment, and technology. We believe culture is not shaped by content alone. Yeah, it's not shaped by content alone. It's shaped by systems, and the people out there also know this. Yeah, whoever builds, owns the distribution, infrastructure, and platforms ultimately determines what scales and what becomes normalized. Yeah. And that's how it is here. So we are looking for founders who are building systems, not just sitting on someone else's platform. We are looking, if you're a content creator making YouTube videos, that's great. But that's not what we want to back. If you're building the platform that creators use, or the tools that helps them monetize, or the discovery system that shapes what people watch, that's what we are interested in. Now, what is Tangent designed to do? Now that you understand, our philosophy, our background as, as Greylight, as a venture firm, what is Tangent really designed to do? Tangent exists to help you build the operational muscle you need to execute very well. Tangent is the intensive training you get into, just like you joined the top tier company. Imagine you joining Google today. Yeah, it's condensed into 12 weeks and tailored for founders. You learn from people who have built from organizations like Meta, Google, Amazon, Uber, Naspers, Deliveroo, and a lot of other amazing organizations. And these are creators who really know what it takes to scale. Yeah, they know what it takes to scale. So, but here is what makes Tangent really different. We are not just teaching you tactics. We are focused on formation, really. We are focused on formation. How do you think about building for the long term, not just your next founding round? How do you design systems that serve human flourishing, not just extract attention? How do you build intentionally, with intentionality and restraints, not just growth at all costs? We see this out there all the time. Founders want to grow at any given cost. If you're looking for a program that will help you raise seed in 12 weeks, this is probably not the one for you. If you're looking for a program that will help you build a company that endures for 10, 15, 20 years, in the long term, and you're willing to do the hard work, the slow work of building, well, I think Tangent is for you. So we are looking for founders who build systems, not just content, platforms, tools, infrastructure, things that others really use. Yeah. And one of the things that you need to know is you need to be at the pre-seed stage, which means you must have built your MVP, probably have a couple of users, maybe less than 1,000, and you're probably planning to scale. You must be committed to building long term. Yes, this is not just a 2 years experiment where you just build in 2 years and you get out of it and just jump it. We want founders who are, like I said before, who are committed to this, who want to do this for the next 20, 30 years. Yes. So you are also serious about formation, not just capital. If you just need money, there are faster ways to do that. Anyways, there are faster ways to get money in the ecosystem. Tangent is for founders who, know the need to build operational depth and want to scale well. Yeah. Like I said before, you need to be building with intentionality. We care about how you build, not just what you build. Yeah, we really care about how you build, not just what you're building. Yeah. I hope that makes sense so far. And I would like to talk about the program structure right now. Yeah, the program structure. So Tangent is fully virtual. You can participate from anywhere in the world. We run live sessions twice a week. and those are Tuesdays and Thursdays. The sessions are always like 90 to 120 minutes, 2 hours thereabouts. These are not pre-recorded sessions. They are live master classes with our faculty members. And one of the good things about these classes is that you get to ask questions that really matter, and you get to engage with our faculties directly. So it's also important for me to note that we are keeping this program very small, and we are selecting just 8 to 10 founders. We are not trying to run a volume of businesses, really. We want to build deep relationships with a few exceptional founders, not just surface relationship with 50 founders. Yes, we want to build deep relationships that last a lifetime. Now, I want to talk about the curriculum. How is the curriculum organized? So we have 5 phases in our curriculum. The first phase is where we, this is where we start really. Before you can build well, you need to understand why you're building, what your assignment is. We explore deeper, your deeper why behind your work, the posture you bring to building, and how you think about your venture more than just a business as a vehicle for shaping culture. So in this phase, we want to talk about your formation, we want to talk about your motive, we want to talk about your assignment. It's very important that we talk about these things because our philosophy is deeply rooted in these values, and it's important that we talk about these things. In the second phase of the curriculum, we want to talk about your problem clarity, trust, and adoption, which is actually very important. We work on you articulating the problem you're solving with precision. You will learn how to get close to your users, build trust, iterate your product based on real feedback and not just assumptions. In the third phase of this curriculum, we want to talk about your strategic advantage and distribution, and that would be like your 3rd week to your 6th week. This is where we dig deep into operational foundations. Yes, your technological strategy. We want to talk about how AI can be leveraged versus how you can create redundancy in your system through AI. We want to talk about your user experience and design, distribution and go-to-market strategy, sales, most importantly, how to build switching costs and moats in your business. We would be at this point, really, it's important to note that we'll be having midpoint check-ins at week 6, most importantly, where we review your progress and adjust based on what you need. Yes. So by the 4th phase, this is where we'll be talking about your economic durability and stewardship. This is a very important phase for you as you go on the journey. This is about making sure your business model actually works. Unit economics, pricing, revenue thinking, capital discipline, and investment readiness. Yeah, so these are the important factors that we'll be considering at phase 4. Yes, so by phase 5, which is actually the final phase, we are going to be taking through leadership and endurance. And this is always between week 8 and week 10. You're not just building a product, you're building a company. You need to understand that because the company is really different from the product. Yes, this phases covers leadership formation, corporate governance, team building, your early hirings. How do you transition from being a builder to a leader? How do you make decisions under constraints? How do you design accountability structures so you don't drift from your standard and goals? Yeah. So we do a final program review at the end of week 10, and there are also some things that will be happening post program, and that's always between week 11 to week 12. The last 2 weeks are about storytelling and pitch construction. Your work on translating what you've built into a narrative that investors and partners can understand. This is very important. We are going to be taking you to a series of pitch practices and prep for demo day, which is, by the way, going to come up on July 15th. Yeah. So throughout the program, you would also have office hours with faculties and expert bench. It's called expert bench. You can book time with mentors and advisors as needed. You get what I'm trying to say? there's going to be a quad community. You're building alongside 7 to 9 other founders. Peer learning is very powerful. I've been a testimony of peer learning, so it's very important that you are in a community of people who are of like mind. They are building with the same mind as you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, and apart from that, you're going to be having ongoing support from the Grey Light team. You're going to be having ongoing support from the Grey Light team. So, this is not just a 12-week, and then we just disappear. Once you are in the Tangent portfolio, you are in the long haul. You need to know that we are building for long-term. We are building a long-term relationship with you. If you have any questions on the structures, by the way, you can drop them in the chat so that we cover them in the Q&A session. Sorry, excuse me, please. Sorry, please, I am. I'm so sorry, please give me a minute.
Yeah, all right. So apologies. Okay, my colleague is back.
Oh, so sorry for the break. So right now I'm going to be introducing you to some of the faculty, some of the faculty members, introducing the program faculty here. When I'm saying faculty, I literally mean the facilitators too, yeah. So, like I said before, we have people that have built at scale at different, amazing organizations. And these people are people that have made a name for themselves in different spheres as this journey of entrepreneurship is concerned. We have people like, Rich Robinson from Meta. We have Mr. Shola Oshunaiki, people who have built in companies like Deliveroo, PwC, and NASPAS, people like Toby Banjoko, we have Cynthia Alabi and, Ismail Olasukomi, Brilliance Fatayo, Glory Ohu, David Foot, Larry Wright. These are some of the amazing people that are going to be facilitating the live master classes with us, and I'm so geared up for the sessions because we are all learners in the School of Life here, so nobody's above learning anyways. So several others are going to be joining us on these sessions. You can see the full faculty list on our website at greylight.co/tangent. So these are not people that are reading from slides, really. They are people that are sharing frameworks they've used to build real businesses at scale. You even have access to them, not just during the live sessions. Like I've said before, that you can book, office hours with these people through the links they are going to be sharing. And these are the caliber of people we've, went far and wide to bring together for Grey Light Tangent. But most importantly, I need to talk about commitment and time requirement, because as much as we've gone, to the extent of bringing this together for the common benefit of everybody that's going to be participating in this program, it's also important that you are well informed about what is expected of you as a participant of Tangent by Grey Light. This covers your commitment, your time requirement, most importantly. So upon acceptance into Tangent by Grey Light, you are expected to work we expect a minimum of 6 to 8 hours commitment to this program per week, and it's very important. So this is like a breakdown. Just like I said before, the sessions are going to be 2 hours per week, 2 hours per day, per each day of the sessions, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's like 2 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours on Thursday. Yeah. And but most importantly, we expect that you dedicate at least 4 hours to work on some of the changes that have been introduced during the program, and also implement some of the things that the faculty members are going to be instructing you to implement. So we are going to be having office hours, which is like a one-on-one session with faculty members and mentors as needed. This is always between 1 to 2 hours too. So, and we'll be having coach touch points and peer learning sessions, which is always between 1 to 2 hours. So we expect a minimum of 6 to 8 hours per week in terms of dedication to this. This is intensive. I need to let you know that, but it's not all consuming, really. You will still be running your business. Apparently, you'll still be building your product. Tangent is designed to fit into your week, not to really replace it, but you just have to stay dedicated. But this is what we really need from you beyond the time. You need to show up. You need to be present. You need to engage. If you're going to miss sessions regularly, if you're treating this like something you do when you have spare time, it's not going to work because it requires your attention. Really, it requires your attention. I remember in the wake of my career, I had to join a program like that. And one of the things they told us during the program was, if you're joining this program, you're not doing any other thing in your life. I thought it was a joke until when I joined the program. And really, so you need to stay committed to this. Yes. All right. So we are investing in you with the time, energy of world-class operators, and we are committed to supporting you the best way we can. So we are looking for founders who are committed for the long term, really. We are looking for founders who are committed for the long term, really. All right. Let's talk about Greylight offer, what we have to offer you. Here's what you would really get, really. So the 12-week intensive curriculum, everything I just described before, world-class faculty, live sessions, formation-focused trainings, yes. Number 2, you're going to have, Greylight expert bench, ongoing access to our mentors, operators, and advisors. You can book office hours. I think I've mentioned this before. With them throughout the program and beyond. Once you're in the portfolio, this is not time limited. Once you make it to our portfolio, this is not time limited. And also, you have up to 100,000. You have access to up to 100,000 in AWS credits for your technical infrastructure. This covers compute, storage, database, ML services. The things you need to build and scale. Yes. So we would be offering you discounted legal and accounting support through our partner firms. We have partners in the ecosystem that are on board with us to support you on this journey. We can support you with incorporation, cap table management, and basic financial modeling rather. So most importantly, you're going to be having capital access and network. We'll connect you with the right investors for your next funding round, strategic partners, talent pool for your hires. This is not we just writing checks ourselves, right? But we have opened doors to people who are writing checks. Yeah. Most importantly, really, we are building long-term relationships. Yes, we are building long-term relations, and that's how we are different. So here's our standard term. Greylight takes 2% equity in your company, 2% equity stake in your company. This is formalized through equity grant and agreement at acceptance. Yes. So let me explain why we've structured it this way. Most accelerators take 5 to 7% equity. YC takes 7% for 500K. Techstars takes 6% for 120K. We are at 2% because we are highly selective, really. We are working with 8 to 10 companies per cohort, not just 50. We are building long-term relationships, not rolling a volume of businesses. Yeah. So this equities is not contingent, yeah, on you raising fund or hitting milestones. It's a direct stake. we are taking risks with you from day one. Once you become part of our portfolio, we become shareholders alongside you, which means we are aligned with your success for the long term. Yeah. We also receive, board advisor rights. Importantly, not non-voting. Yeah. Because we want to stay close to your business as you scale. So we are committed to showing up as long-term partners, not just a 12-week program and disappearing. 2% equity stake. Inisi Health, I saw your question. So, all right. So, I'd like to talk also about the key program dates and timelines. Yeah. And if you miss any of them, you can always reiterate in the chat box so that you can be duly attended to. So application closes by 25th of March, which is like a few days. Yes, if you have not applied yet and this resonates with you, you have just 2 days to apply. Yes. So this week, we are going to attend to all questions just at the Q&A session, but it's also important that I'm able to like dish out the key dates and timelines so that you can understand how the program runs. But your question is well taken. We are going to attend to that. We'll conduct interviews. So late March, I'm talking of this week, that's like 26th to 31st. We'll conduct interviews with shortlisted candidates. If we invite you for an interview, it's just going to be between 30 to 45 minutes of conversation with me and the remaining program team. Yeah. So by early April, by 1st of April, final decisions are going to be made. If you make you an offer, you receive the full terms, including the equity grants, and you have time to review with your co-founders or advisors before accepting. Yeah. So by the 14th of April 2026, the program is going to commence fully. First session with our faculty. Now it's going to run through the 12 weeks. By 15th of July 2026, we are going to have our demo day. You present what you have built to investors, partners, and the broader Greylight network. Yeah. By July 15th, if you make it to the demo day, you're going to be in the portfolio and ongoing supports are going to continue. So that's like a breakdown of the timelines. Applications are going to close in 2 days. If you're on the fence, I think this is the time to make a decision. So this is the time for question and answer, and I would allow one of our partners to undo the question and answer in person of Mr. Joba Adijima. Thank you all for having me. My name is Mercy.
Awesome. Thank you, Mercy. I mean, I think you can just, if there are questions, I'm not sure if there are questions, you can just read them out and I can just support by answering.
All right, thank you, sir. So we have some of the frequently asked questions, and I believe this is going to address the general concerns of the participants of the info session today. When will the selected founders be notified?
Right, I think you had already mentioned that as part of
definitely.
To reiterate, it will be from the first week of April. So we're looking at most likely the 1st to the 3rd of April, right? So yeah, that's for that answer question.
All right. So I think there are also concerns about the need at any point where founders would be needed to appear in person.
Right. So thanks for that question, right? It's a fully virtual program at this point in time. So there wouldn't be any need at any point for this cohort to appear in person, right? So it's a fully virtual program. However, we are focused at this point in time for this cohort 1 on founders that are building from Africa. So you must be within the African region for us to be able to, take you in.
Okay, thank you. So I I think this is a very important question. Aside from funding, where does Tangent provide the most leverage? Is it distribution? Is it partnership? Is it global expansion? Or I think you can just share more light on where we provide the most leverage.
I mean, thanks for that question. So for us, really, it's beyond the funding, beyond the formation, beyond all of that, it is the access that you get, right, as a founder. Every early stage founder has, or most early stage founders rather, we find that it is very common that they experience access challenges, whether it is access to experts, access to mentors, access to resources, access to tools, right? So Greylight sort of comes in as that co-founder that helps you to bridge that access. Now, whether it is with regard to, for example, an access that will support your next hire, or an access that will support your technology scaling, right? We've partnered with technology partners, right, across the world to support all of this. So yes, I'll say that the most leverage really would come from that strategic access that really enables your global expansion. And also, of course, there's the partnerships part of it as well, right? We've built a robust, household of partners that can enable distribution for early stage founders that will be coming into the program, right? And of course, our niche, like I always like to say, is for founders that are building technology for media and entertainment. So meaning that those are the kind of founders that, or the kind of founder, the kind of, what's the word now? Those are the kind of partnerships that you would potentially get access to through this program. I hope that helps. You can go ahead. Let's see.
All right, thank you, sir. So, I think there's also the concern about, yeah, there's also the concern about how startups access funding to scale their businesses, and I think that's going to be thoroughly discussed. There are things that how do I put it? There are things that you need to put in place as a company for you to be ready for funding to scale, and that's why it's important that you make it to the program phase, where you'll be taking through a series of activities and tests for you to be fund ready. So I think to answer the question of how you would access funding for so how you access funding, you need to be fund ready first, and that's what Tangent is also about. So also, Mr. Joba, there is the concern about how the online sessions will work, and I think I've actually addressed that also. I think many of the questions
Is it a concern?
So there are some of the founders that have like full-time jobs, yeah, and they are looking at how it's going to work. So I already mentioned that the classes are going to be live. They are not pre-recorded classes. So it's important that you make out time to be a part of the live classes. Yeah, it's important that you make out time to be a part of the live classes. So the classes are not pre-recorded classes. They are live master classes with our faculty members. And you just have to make out time for it to work. That's just it. So I think I'm seeing some questions here. So I will allow our partner to take on the questions in the chat.
So what question do you want me to answer now? Should we go to the questions on chat first.
Yeah, the questions on the chat actually. That's what I want us to.
So I can see a couple of them. I can see that so Sheila is asking if there is a financial investment beyond the program with the 2%. Tangent primarily is our formation program, at Greylight. After gone through that program and have been able to tick all the boxes that we would typically require, they can then qualify at that point in time, when all of the metrics are right, for us to come in as the first check, typically. So it's two ways. We would support you by investment at the end of the program, which could happen anywhere between, the final program date and, the long-term relationship that we have as a portfolio company, right? And then the second part of it would then be Greylight partnering or rather connecting you with our partner companies or partner investment firms that have a focus on investing in founders that are building technology in these areas. For us, it's really just about the fact that we understand how important it is for founders within these areas to get investors, right, that are very much aligned with their way of thinking. I mean, you do not really find so many investors within this, field today. And so for us, that's how we're thinking about it. So, so yes to that question. To Sheila's question, the answer is yes. The when is then speculative. Now to Ryan's question, I can see you're asking why entertainment has a focus and what protection exists with the business ideas and information we'll be sharing with Greylight. It's quite interesting because, we receive over 100 applications on a weekly basis, right? So how many ideas or how many pitches do we want to keep? One thing to understand is that, first of all, as a firm, our thesis is very non-extractive. So we do not exist to extract value from founders. We exist instead to complement you, to help you build redemptive businesses that can enable human flourishing, businesses that can restore, broken systems. And that is exactly how we operate. So of course, I'm just saying that to help you understand that, there's nothing of the sort in terms of you having to be scared or bothered that we take your ideas or whatever the case may be. In terms of entertainment and as a focus, so that's our thesis. And our thesis is that we believe that culture follows distribution, and distribution is primarily best expressed through the media, entertainment, and technology infrastructure systems, right? And that's essentially where we are focused on that. I can see Inisi Healthcare has a question. Can you confirm the amount that you invest in startups? So our check would typically range between 50 to 100,000 US dollars, right? Once we're ready to invest, we do not need rounds, not at this point in time. And some of our best 5 portfolio companies. So to give you some more context, some of our portfolio companies within this. So for us, this MET systems, the media, entertainment, and technology infrastructure systems is our new line of thinking. So what you will find is that we do not have any portfolio companies. This is our first expression on this right now. So we don't have any portfolio companies within this. Tangent is the initial program that we are, basically putting out in the public for these industries. So I think I've covered all the questions. Please let me know, Mercy or Caleb, if there are any questions that are left, so that we can just cover those as well. Or if there's anyone in the audience that has any question, they can also feel free to put it in the chat box and just take it up from here. Is Mercy there? Caleb, please confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, sir. There are no questions currently, but I think if people have questions, they can notify.
Okay, cool. All right, so given that Mercy is currently off for now. Okay. I can see there's another question from Sheila. Thank you. I'm interested and I've applied. However, I'm US based, so might not be a good fit. Would you consider investing in the US in the future? Absolutely. I mean, we have a global, as much as we are currently Africa focused at this point in time, and we have a global perspective, right? Because of course we are building for the global audience, not for the African market. We are only starting with founders that are of African descent and probably based in Africa at this point in time, right? Either based in Africa or are also how do you put them now? I wouldn't use the word immigrants. I'll use the word African. I mean, the word has skipped, but I'm sure you all get what I'm trying to say. Diaspora, exactly. Thank you. Exactly. So yeah, Africans in diaspora. That's it. Thank you, Shola. Awesome. So, do we have any other questions at this point in time? I hope it's been a very interesting session for you guys. I hope it's really been informative. I see that Mercy is still not back. It looks like it's frozen. Okay, it's off the call now. Interesting. Okay. So, any other questions from the audience? If not, I think we can just call it a day. And we'll be looking out for your applications. If you haven't applied yet, feel free to apply. The applications close by the 25th of this month. We're looking to work with really exceptional founders that are building within these verticals that we're interested in. Fortunately, we'll be taking 10 founders, 8 to 10 founders, as Nancy mentioned. But of course, that's why we're looking for the best, right? The best, the very best. And we believe that some of you are here on this call. So I think at this point in time, since we don't have any other points to cover, I think we can just call it a day. Caleb, please confirm if we're good to close out.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Please confirm if we are good to close out.
Yes, so basically, I think that's all. Majorly, just to notify everyone that emails will be sent to everyone that applied, and if we have interviews with you, and then also just keep updates and just keep up with whatever updates that we share. You can follow our LinkedIn pages, and also you can follow us on Instagram to just keep yourself updated. And thank you. Okay, Messi is back. Wonderful.
Awesome. So, but I think we're good. I think we're done. We're done. So,
yeah. Yes, we're done. We're done.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. I apologize for the break in network. Yeah, in the absence of no questions, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
All right. I was looking to address more questions, but it looks as though we don't have more questions.
Yeah, I think we're done already. So I think we can call it a day now.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of
So leave that.
Right.
Hi, Mr. Jabba. I can't quite hear you. Can you hear me? Thank you all for joining the session.
Messi, can you hear? I think the call is ended.
Yeah. Okay. All right.